Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So there was a bit of a rumour going around not too long ago that Tatiana Maslany, the She-Hulk actor herself, was fired from Deadpool and Wolverine for, quote, the woke agenda, and was going to be suing Disney. Now, was she fired from Deadpool and Wolverine? Yeah, I mean, she did apparently do some scenes there. In terms of her suing Disney, that was just clearly a rumour. But she has now responded to those sort of claims, and it does reek of cope, quite frankly. Undoubtedly, would she be annoyed that She-Hulk was a bomb? Yeah, of course she would be. How would you not be annoyed with that? It's the show that you starred in. Yes, you'd be upset that it was a failure. So, yeah, a lot of this is cope. Absolute cope. So, let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here. But She-Hulk attorney at law drew a mixed, albeit mostly, no it wasn't, response from fans in 2022. Crazy to think it came out 2 years ago. Holy shit. However, by attempting to subvert expectations, the series disappointed many. That doesn't make any sense then. Mostly positive, disappointed many. Alright. A fresh spin on the intelligentsia was welcomed, but for it to not lead to, well, the leader was a baffling decision. Yeah, but that's because the people who wrote that series were just brain-dead morons. And wanted to stick it to the chuds. How's that working out for Joker, huh? So the finale's fourth wall break similarly divided opinions, but it would be wrong to say there wasn't plenty to love. Yes, it was awful, actually. So, yes. It was genuinely terrible. So, inevitably, She-Hulk attorney at law having a female lead and pro-feminist themes resulted in backlash from those who claimed the Disney series was woke, or another supposedly terrible addition to the growing MCU. It was a terrible addition to the MCU, and it was objectively a bad series. You also did change the characterization quite a lot. So it was objectively bad, actually, for many, many reasons. Having a female lead doesn't equate to it being terrible. That is genuinely nonsense. However, having everything swapped out for females, that was becoming a problem. You nerfed the characterization of Hulk, then added She-Hulk. People were obviously going to be irritated by that. No one was annoyed with that in the comics because you still had a badass Hulk. Do you see the difference? And pro-feminist themes. Feminism is a cancer on this planet. Feminism is quite literally just female advocacy. It's not an equality thing, right? It's just female advocacy. Otherwise, why aren't we screaming from the rooftops that we need more male midwives, huh? Why aren't we screaming from the rooftops that we need more women working in sewers? Obviously, it's just female advocacy. Anyone with half a brain cell can figure that out. So pro-feminist themes is just nonsense. It's utterly ridiculous. So lead star Tatiana Maslany has spent at least the past few years being targeted by online trolls. No, she hasn't. And shortly after Deadpool and Wolverine was released, she became the subject of bizarre fake rumours conjured up by YouTubers. It was claimed that the orphan black alum was furious with Marvel Studios after they cut She-Hulk from Deadpool and Wolverine. I actually like Tatiana Maslany as an actor. I watched Orphan Black and I had quite a good time with it. I do genuinely think, and I've said this before, that she is and can be a very good actor. There's the whole online trolls thing and bizarre fake rumours. I don't think that's objectively true, but whatever. So this website says that they didn't report on it because the whole thing was fabricated nonsense. You didn't know that. You actually didn't know that. But it seems Maslany was made aware of the claims. So asked during a recent podcast appearance whether she could share any MCU gossip, the actor responded with, and here comes the cope. I was in Deadpool and Wolverine. I had 2 scenes in it. And then Ryan Reynolds fired me from the show because he said I don't like these scenes. Now I'm suing Disney. I always talk about how much I hate Wolverine and Deadpool. I talk about it all the time. I also wish I'd just sit down and stop pushing my feminist agenda and just realise that Deadpool and Wolverine made a lot of money and She-Hulk only made $3. That's why they were getting rid of me, because I had this woke agenda and I really wanted to bring it into the movie. I mean, obviously that is a joke, right? But a few things to break down there. She-Hulk actually made 0 money. It would have lost a substantial amount of money. I think it was made for $180 million, which is just absurd. And it was made for such an extortionate price tag because they were making it up as they went along. That's ridiculous. That's why a lot of the effects didn't look finished, because they didn't have enough time. They were making it up quite literally as they were going along, and that's clearly disastrous. But also she's almost gaslighting here as well, ladies and gentlemen, because you've got to remember, she came out and bitched and moaned that Marvel didn't pay people properly. She complained that Disney Plus wasn't paying her properly. Which, it is, a lot of this is gaslighting. This is cope anyway, because she is sad that people didn't like her show. Undoubtedly, we're human. Like, of course she would. Of course she would be a bit saddened by that. But yeah, I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine did make a lot of money. She-Hulk didn't actually make anything. It would have lost money for Disney. Because it wouldn't have generated any more revenue for them. No one signed up for Disney Plus to watch She-Hulk. I don't think anyone was even pirating that nonsense. And is she sad that she would have had scenes cut from Deadpool and Wolverine? Yeah, of course she would have been. One, it further cements the fact that she is now removed from the MCU. So, yeah, that's not so good. And I'm not saying she's removed permanently, but it does solidify the fact that she's not going to be in anything anytime soon. And if she is, probably not going to be much, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, she had a glorified cameo cut from a movie. That's not a good sign that people wanted to see her. And that's a sign that the studio was like, oh yeah, shit, let's get rid of this person. Like I said, this is just massive cope. Like, absolutely huge cope. Does she have a woke agenda? She might do, to be fair. It would. The whole reason why She-Hulk was bad is not because of her specifically. It's because, you had the writers, you had the people from the top allowing it to go on. It's all just nonsense. It's real bad. But anyway, this article just, again, has weird cope as well. And says, and yes, in case it isn't already obvious, she is only joking. It's wild that some people hate women enough to have dreamed up a nonsense story about Maslany being fired from a movie she was never going to be part of. But that's the internet in 2024 for you. So apparently they're even saying that she didn't film anything for that. Which, who knows whether that's going to be true or not. We don't actually know. This doesn't actually deny that she was in there, obviously. So I would err on the side of caution that, yes, she might have been, to be fair. But it's got nothing to do with hating women about having this story. Well, that's got nothing to do with that. And it says this, unfortunately, she didn't share any updates on when we can expect to see Jennifer Walters again. Marvel Studios hasn't announced plans for She-Hulk Season 2, and the character has yet to make any cameo appearances elsewhere. We know she was in an early draft of Captain America Brave New World, but an upcoming Avengers movie currently seems her most likely next destination in the MCU. Well, I mean, if you're having Captain America Brave New World with a leader, you'd think you'd include She-Hulk as well, wouldn't you? But she's not in there because she's bad. And she wasn't well received. That's not hating women. It's just the state of affairs. So anyway, there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.